Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. I just said hi and the dog barked. It's 2021. We're coming out of a big, crazy year last year, and everyone is frothing to paraglide. I can feel it. And the other day, someone asked me, "Hey, Ari, what are your paragliding goals for 2021? And I thought, and I was like, I want to fly 300 kilometers. And I want to get back into misty flips and helicopters. Yeah, let's do it. And then I thought, wait a second. Are those actually the right goals? Are those the things I want to think about to have a good flying season? Is that going to help me enjoy this flying season? So I don't think they are. But what are the right goals? And how do we set them? You want to find out? Let's get right into it.
See ya.
Okay, thanks for being here. So, before we get started, I've added a new tier to my Patreon. It's basically buying me a beer. If you'd like to buy, if you appreciate what I do here and you want to help support, I'd really appreciate it. Go over to patreon.com/AirInTheAir and buy me a proverbial beer. Because I know most of you, when I meet you in the real world, you guys are stoked and really grateful, and I so appreciate that. So if you want to help support the channel and give me some of the energy, consider becoming a patron. Patron. Become a robot and then get on the interwebs. Beep. Anyway, okay. So like I said, what are the right goals? One of my best friends, his name is Adam Craig. He's an Olympian mountain biker. One of the best mountain bikers on the planet. And for my podcast, the Ari in the Air podcast, he was one of the first people I interviewed. He had this amazing perspective that ended up becoming the title of the episode, which is Goals Are for Suckers. And what he meant by goals are for suckers is that his way of thinking about it wasn't that he was going to set a goal of winning the race. He wasn't going to set a goal of winning the Olympics. What he said he focused on was focusing on the conditions for his life that helped his success be an emergent property. He focused on the conditions that would just let him succeed instead of focusing on the outcomes. So in that way, goals are for suckers. And I think that's the right way to think about this. So instead of focusing on, oh, I want to fly 300K or I want to get back into misty flips, I'm thinking more now like, what are the conditions of my life and my perspective that help me be a successful, competent, safe, grateful, present paragliding pilot for 2021, okay? I think this is the way that we should be thinking about this. This is kind of a shift from setting goals to setting intentions, because goals are inherently outcome-based. An outcome is doing, but intentions are more being. Like, yeah, I'd love to fly 300K, but I'd like to think about who I want to be and how I'd want to be. How do I want to feel, really? Because, as I've said before, I'm an emotional player in an emotional game. So coming to terms with that and really facing that for what it is a pretty important thing at this point in my life and career. So, what are the conditions that are going to foster my best outcomes is basically the question. I think the first thing that I want to do this year is I want to kill the Fomo. I want to kill this feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out. When I feel this, when other people are out flying and I'm not, I get this feeling that I'm missing out, that I'm being left behind, that I'm just like, I'm somewhere below where I should be. And this is it makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel like I scramble like some kind of frantic squirrel that needs to like get all his nuts and hide them. And it's a very scarce way to feel, and it sucks. It's such a common thing in paragliding too, and I don't want it for you either. So I want to kill the FOMO this year. So this year, I'm going to focus on staying very grounded. I'm going to make plans for things outside of paragliding. I'm going to ride my bike. I'm going to focus on my food, the things that are in front of me, the things I have to do every day. I'm going to stay focused on going to therapy and healing and growing and working on my relationships. That way, when it's time to fly, I'll be totally there. I'll be present and patient and grateful. And I'll actually get from the flying the things that I want, the feelings of competence and enjoyment and surreal experience, right? I don't want to miss out on those things. So, killing the FOMO. The next intention I have for 2021 is I want to fly my own flights. In the past, when I go to a comp and I feel like racing, I feel like competing, I always land out. And I land out feeling frustrated and pissed off. When my friends are ahead of me and I try to catch up with them and I try to go really fast, I just feel anxious and it just doesn't feel good. So I want to fly my own flights. Paragliding is a great thing to do with other people, but at the end of the day, it's pretty radically individual. And I don't get to fly other people's flights. And if they go further than me, great. And if I land out, whatever. It's a perspective change that I really have to just be patient, and I have to be where I am, and I have to let what's going to happen happen. If I need to slow down and take a light climb so that I can make a bigger crossing, I don't need to race with everyone. I just need to fly my own flights. And this is a really important thing for safety as well. Which brings me to my third intention, which is I want to be safe. I want to be accident free. I want to have safe launches and safe landings all year long. So I want to set an intention for being cautious and prudent and centered enough that I don't need the glory. I don't need whatever else is out there. I just need to enjoy where I am when I'm there. I want to let myself land when I'm low instead of scratching and trying to make some kind of save when I'm frantic and desperate. I want to feel good for other people when they fly really far or they outfly me. I don't want to feel FOMO. I don't want to feel jealousy. I don't want to feel those things. So these are things that help me keep my perspective right so that I can remember that I'm going to have many more flights and I'm going to have many more seasons of flights ahead of me. These are the conditions that I think are going to make me fly 300K, get back into misty flips and helicopters, and have a really safe, enjoyable paragliding season with my friends. I hope that for you. So my question for you is, what are your intentions that you want to set for 2021? How do you want to feel paragliding this season? Who do you want to be? Give me your 3. Put them in the comments below. I'm really glad that you were here. Thanks for watching. Again, consider subscribing and becoming a patron on Patreon. There's just a $5 a month. Buy me a beer after our monthly flight. All right. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in the next episode.